Hello everyone, this is Edray1416 here with a video about why I support the legalization of cannabis. What? A staunch conservative supports the legalization of a powerful herb? Yes. While I wouldn't personally smoke marijuana, I would grow hemp, extract the oils, and turn it into hemp fuel. Use it to generate electricity in my house for just pennies on the dollar. That's my main reason why I support the legalization of cannabis, to generate cheap and renewable energy to power my house pretty much forever. I'll go into the reasons why hemp fuel is a better energy source than fossil fuel later. But let's go back to 1915 when people lobbied for cannabis to be outlawed. In 1915, Utah was the first state in America to officially outlaw the use of marijuana, citing complaints from the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, aka Mormons. What happened was some brilliant lawmakers outlawed polygamy in Utah during the 19-teens, forcing many Mormons to go to Mexico. Then they were exiled because of the Mexican Revolution, where there was a bunch of tension. While the Mormons returned, they brought home marijuana and started smoking it. This ultimately led the Mormon Church to lobby to the government to outlaw the use of marijuana. Other states including Wyoming, Texas, Iowa, Oregon, and the state of Washington, which became legal a few years back, banned the use of marijuana. Fast forward to the people that were responsible for lobbying to make marijuana illegal on a federal level. In 1929, Harry Anslinger of Altoona, Pennsylvania, a Republican, was struggling to establish an identity for himself after the constitutional law of prohibition became a catastrophic failure from an economic standpoint. So Anslinger observed the case from Florida over a guy that killed his family with an axe and asked independent scientists if marijuana caused this mess. 29 out of the 30 scientists said no, so he chose the one scientist that said yes and blamed the behavior of the murderer on marijuana. He was the main reason why the Marijuana Act of 1937 officially prohibited the use of marijuana nationwide. The other person responsible for the federal outlawing of marijuana was William Randolph Hearst, a California Democrat who was well known for writing slanderous stories to make a quick dollar. Hearst was responsible for ruining many people's lives, including comedic actor Roscoe Fatty Arbuckle. During the 1930s, Hearst didn't like how hemp became a super hot commodity not just for medical use, but for clothing as well as other things. So during the 1930s, Hearst would promote lies by any means necessary to convince the public that marijuana was bad for you. So this proves that both the Democrats and Republicans from that time period didn't want to conform to using something that is renewable, sustainable, and could keep the competition and clothing industry stiff. Because of the Marijuana Act of 1937, if you get sick, you go to the pharmacy. If you want fuel, you buy gas from oil companies. If you want clothes, you buy clothes from cotton that are laden with pesticides. Now, why do I support the legalization of cannabis? Number one, medical marijuana without the tetrahydrocannabinol has been clinically proven to reduce or overall stop seizures in epileptic children. A chemical called cannabidiol helps slow and relax the activities in the brain to which the brain can function correctly. Medical marijuana is also known to help people fight arthritis and other inflammatory afflictions. Number two, hemp creates clothes that are not only more comfortable than cotton, but also cheaper than cotton. Not to mention that hemp clothes last longer than cotton clothes. The fibers in cotton wear and tear over time. Sometimes cotton clothes can last you a few months to perhaps a couple of years. So the Marijuana Act of 1937 gave the cotton industry leverage while screwing over the textile industry at the same time. Legalizing cannabis would revive the textile industry and support local economies as well. Finally, hemp has oil that can be extracted and processed to make hemp fuel. Unlike petroleum oil, hemp oil is safe to extract and process. Also, you don't have to order hemp oil from Saudi Arabia or other nations that have oil to sell. Hemp oil is not only cheap to process, but hemp oil is also renewable and economically sustainable. With hemp oil, you can convert it into a clean hemp fuel to create your own electricity and power your house off the grid. Clean hemp fuel can also give you higher quality fuel that can keep your car from breaking down regularly. Those are the reasons why I support the legalization of cannabis. It's medically beneficial, it can revive the textile industry, which can help make American-made clothes again, and it can provide renewable and sustainable energy for centuries to come. These reasons was why Hugh Downs of ABC News Magazine 2020 was forced to retire in 1999. Aside from ABC News turning liberally biased, Hugh Downs is a libertarian that openly supported the legalization of cannabis, completely going against the norm of broadcast journalism. Downs was forced into retirement in 1999 at the age of 78. Today, he is 96 years old and still supports the legalization of cannabis. Lies made marijuana illegal, while alcohol and prescription drugs factually kill people. In 2016, an estimated 2.5 million people died from overall alcohol consumption. In 2016, 52,000 people died from overall drug overdoses. And how many people have died from the use of marijuana in 2016? None. This is from drugwarfacts.org. So you mean to tell me that cannabis shouldn't be illegal because it would actually benefit someone with afflictions, yet take prescription pills and drink and be dead within a short period of time? How are these legal and cannabis isn't? This is a partisan issue that has to be put to rest because the truth is out and the facts keep pouring in about how many people die from the damaging effects of prescription pills. How about the people that drink themselves to death? How do you stop that from happening? You can't because the prohibition was repealed by a creeping socialist named Franklin Delano Roosevelt in 1933. If cannabis does become legal, I'll start a hemp farm and make my own electricity so I have renewable and sustainable energy forever. If cannabis becomes legal, I'll finally never have to worry about going broke ever again. What do you think? Anyway, I'm Edray, and I'm out of here.